You're watching ABC7 News at 5:30.
Welcome back. Hurricane season now less than a month away, and homeowners who live in flood-prone areas are urged to sign up now for flood insurance.
That's right. It does take 30 days for policies to kick in. ABC7's Christopher Brantley spoke to a homeowner whose home has flooded before. He's joining us now with what you need to know. Christopher?
Good evening. Unsurprisingly, the homeowner we spoke to today suggests everyone gets flood insurance, even though it can be costly, especially for those who live in flood zones.
It started raining and it just kept raining and the water kept raising.
Gary Boroff has lived at this home in Venice for 46 years. In that time, it's flooded twice. We visited him last year after his yard and garage flooded.
That's why they wouldn't let any of the cars go by in the street, because that would have created a wave and we would have had water in the house.
And just an inch of water that gets into your house can cause a substantial amount of damage.
David Joyner runs Joyner Family Insurance. He says now's the time to get flood insurance, and don't think you're not susceptible to flooding.
Like to correct folks who say, well, I'm not in a flood zone, so I don't need flood insurance, to remind everyone that we're all in a flood zone, especially here in Florida.
The insurance came in handy for Boroff some years ago during the first major flooding of his home.
The adjuster came in and made an appointment with us, came in, and we looked throughout the house and even into the garage.
The house had $26,000 worth of damage. Boroff got a check for the full amount. The monthly payments for flood insurance are different depending how close to the water you live.
For most people, especially people that live in a preferred risk zone, the costs just aren't that much.
Joyner suggests adding contents coverage to your plan. That way, if a flood does happen, it's not just the structure of the home that's covered.
All of your personal belongings, area rugs, etc. that get wet, all of that is going to fall underneath that flood insurance policy.
Now, the price of that flood insurance policy is going to depend on several things, and that includes your home's location. If you're worried about the price, the best thing to do may be to speak to an insurance agent, try and get a quote to decide if it's the right thing for you. Live in Venice, Christopher Brantley, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Christopher. Certainly some great information as we head closer and closer to the start of hurricane season.
Yeah, Bob preaches to people.
Yes.
This is the time to get ready. Don't wait until the middle of hurricane season when we're threatened by a storm. Here's Bob with more on our weather today.
Yeah, they can't even sell homes if the storm is within a certain distance from your location that you look to buy a home as a result of hurricanes or tropical systems that are around. Futurecast year, I wanted to show you this. I mentioned it earlier that the European forecast model has come down on our rain chances for the weekend for us here, and then it develops a subtropical low east of the state of Florida. You'll see that as we move through time here. Again, this is at 2 o'clock on Saturday. You'll notice not a lot of rainfall for us here. Scattered showers are possible on Saturday and Sunday, and then by Monday, this area of low pressure tries to get going right there. You can see it's just north of the Bahamas. That's where this particular model. So we'll see how this changes and rearranges over the upcoming 48 hours to determine whether we're going to get a little bit more rain on Monday and Tuesday, or if the GFS verifies and the low develops here in the eastern portion of the Gulf of Mexico. If it does so, then we'll see more rain. We could use more rain. We need it, and it's a big problem as far as that fire danger goes. It's very high for Manatee, Sarasota, and DeSoto counties. Extreme conditions in Charlotte County, and that's the forecast for tomorrow. 89 right now. It's nice, though, as a result of the humidity being low. That's not great news for firefighters, but 39% on that. Winds out of the northwest at 14. And the pressure is continuing to rise. We'll have more on the weather in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Okay, Bob, we'll talk to you then. A possible pardon for a former Sarasota County Sheriff's deputy accused of covering up evidence. Investigators say Carson Lee Plank tried to help Deputy Frank Bybee, who is accused of stealing from and trying to kill an elderly woman. Police say Plank not only failed to turn over evidence from the victim's home, but then warned Bybee about the investigation. Prosecutors say Plank can avoid prosecution if she completes a pretrial diversion program. Bybee was sentenced last October to 15 years in prison for kidnapping and other charges. An investigation into a Bradenton Beach police officer is now closed after the state says his actions in a shooting were justified. Officer Eric Hill shot a Palmetto man once in the torso after he threatened Hill and other officers with a knife in a parking lot on Anna Maria Island. The state says Hill was justified in the use of deadly force in that December 2017 shooting. The letter comes about a week after the department decided on Hill as its nominee for Officer of the Year for his courageous and professional response to that incident.
For the first time since the mass shooting, we're getting a look behind the fences at Pulse nightclub in Orlando. The new interim memorial unveiled today. There was a special private ceremony this morning for survivors, loved ones, and some community members. It gave the group a chance to see this memorial before anyone else. There was song and prayer and messages of support from around the country. This temporary memorial focuses on the 49 people killed and how the world responded. Former Northport City Commissioner Buddy Hughes has died, the longtime commissioner best known for helping develop the city of Northport. When she started her community work 40 years ago, there were just dirt roads and a few thousand residents in Northport. Now the city has a population topping 65,000. Hughes dedicated her time to reaching out to groups of young people and seniors. Northport's mayor says the loss of Hughes will be felt all around Northport.
You know, Buddy brought this other alternative perspective that not many can see. You know, how it is to be a senior, how it is to be low income, and she did so many things in the city that people aren't even aware of.
A memorial service will be held at San Pedro Church in Northport tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Buddy Hughes would have been 91 years old next week.
More credit card skimming devices have been discovered at some gas pumps on the Suncoast. The skimmers were found at the Citgo on Holmes Beach, which has been targeted in the past. ABC7's Rick Adams joins us live with the warning that investigators have for you tonight. Rick?
Yeah, Jacqueline, this is the gas station that we're talking about. Authorities are warning folks to be extra careful. These are the skimmers that were recently found inside two pumps at the Citgo gas station on Gulf Drive in Holmes Beach. It's something that is a little unnerving for Tony Swift. He's someone who uses this gas station often when he's in town.
It's a concern for everybody because they're obviously ripping credit cards off, and you know, it's a major concern for America.
Holmes Beach police say this isn't the first time this has happened at this gas station. Back in 2016, skimming devices were found in pumps here 3 separate times within days of one another. A surveillance camera had captured a van blocking the pump while one of the suspects distracted the clerk inside. Detective Sergeant Brian Hall says these crooks are often very quick inserting these skimming devices and elusive.
They have master keys to these pumps and they're able to come in, and sometimes they just are able to pop them open, and others of them, they have the actual key for the pumps themselves.
This Citgo isn't the only location that has had a problem with skimming devices. Gas stations all around Sarasota and Manatee counties have been affected, including on Longboat Key. The town's only gas station has been hit by skimmers several times over the last few years. Holmes Beach police say they are proactive when it comes to cracking down on skimming at gas stations.
Our patrol officers at night will go through and check the pumps. They have found pumps that have been tampered with and have notified the gas station before anything can happen.
There are certain things you can do to avoid falling victim to a gas station skimmer, including paying inside instead of at the pump or using cash.
Before you pump your gas, make sure that the tape, the strip, is in place on the gas pump, and then don't use a debit or bank card. Make sure you use a credit card.
And we did reach out to the Citgo here, but nobody wanted to come on camera to talk about this. Reporting live from Holmes Beach, I'm Rick Adams. Back to you.
All right, Rick, thank you. Workers' compensation insurance rates in Florida are going down. The Florida Office of Insurance Regulation has approved an almost 2% decrease in 2018 rates. The reduced rate will take effect on June 1st. Now, for new and renewal workers' compensation policies, this is the second drop in 2018 rates for Florida businesses following a recent 10% reduction. The state chief financial officer says the new reduction could save businesses nearly $80 million this year and allow them to pass those savings along.
As this lower workers' comp rate takes effect and starts to really get ingrained into people's businesses, it should have a ripple effect.
Now, workers' compensation is a no-fault system meant to protect workers and employers. It's supposed to provide workers who are injured on the job access to medical benefits they need to recover. In exchange for those providing the benefits, employers generally cannot be sued in court for causing injuries.
When you head to the polls this November, you'll be able to vote on possible changes to the state's constitution. Florida's Constitution Revision Commission meets just once every 20 years. The last meeting was back in 1998. The group of 37 commissioners drafted 8 of the 13 proposed constitutional amendments that will show up on the ballot. Then it's up to you for those ideas to get approved.
Our voters in Florida are extremely smart, and they will be able to read these amendments and decide for themselves whether this is something they would like to vote for and they would like to see in the Constitution or not.
Coming up tonight on ABC7 News at 7, we'll take a look at a few of those amendments and share why constituents won't get to vote on one of the big issues expected to be on that November ballot.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, how the volcano erupting in Hawaii is creating health risks for those who live around it.
And Walmart's new policies for opioid prescriptions. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to a premium finish. Schedule your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or go to californiaclosets.com.
Rugs as Art. You know the name, you know the building, but do you know what's inside? Yes, Rugs as Art is Florida's #1 area rug superstore, but there is so much more. Amazing furniture, accessories, and art. All this and more. Come see for yourself. You'll love our personal touch and be pleasantly surprised by our affordable prices. Rugs as Art and more. There is so much more to explore.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
Experience the Classical Music Celebration May 11th and 12th at the historic Sarasota Opera House. World-class musicians include guitar duo Charisma, currently touring with Andrea Bocelli. Tickets available online or by phone.
My credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score.
It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach.
Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free.
You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
I'm Anne. I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me and me help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android. This is awesome. You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Here's today's job of the day. ABC7 is seeking a part-time media controller to manage various stages of video on-air content playout. General computer skills are an absolute must. Visit mysuncoast.com/job-of-the-day to apply.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to a premium finish. Schedule your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or go to californiaclosets.com.
As lava and toxic fumes continue to spew on Hawaii's Big Island, there's also a silent danger brewing for people living near the volcanic eruption. Reed Binion takes a closer look at the health side effects for those residents.
Lava, fire, and dangerous gases are proving to be destructive for homeowners and their health. It's been several days since the Kilauea volcano erupted on Hawaii's Big Island, but the lasting impact is still being felt. The toxic gases spewing into the air are mixing with water vapor to create volcanic smog, or VOG for short. VOG is a form of air pollution that includes the toxic gas sulfur dioxide. According to the Hawaii Interagency VOG Information Dashboard, VOG can damage the environment and harm humans and animals. In humans, it can damage the lungs, trigger headaches, watery eyes, sore throats, and even breathing problems. Experts recommend avoiding VOG by limiting time outdoors. Exposure can be especially dangerous for people with asthma or other respiratory problems. VOG can be present for several weeks after a volcanic eruption, and wind can spread it for hundreds of miles. For today's Health Minute, I'm Reed Binion.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Problems too are high number 97. That puts it almost in the unhealthy for folks who have respiratory problems range. And this is the GFS. I showed you the European earlier in this newscast, showing that low developing east of the state. Well, we'll take you through time on Sunday. This is Mother's Day. Not as much rainfall. There'll be some showers around. Don't get me wrong, but you'll see at the end of this on Monday that low pressure kind of trying to set up here in the eastern portion of the Gulf of Mexico. A little wrap around there, and maybe a little area of low pressure there developing and bringing us a little bit better chance for some showers and some storms scattered about. We could use the rainfall too. We are in this dry condition now. Casey Key webcam showing fairly calm conditions. Seas running right around 2 feet. The wind's always picking up in the late afternoons. That sea breeze trying to kick in out of the west-northwest. Staying dry through Friday though. It's going to be very dry, and looks like no chance for any significant rainfall until we get to the weekend. And even that isn't all that high right now at 50% for scattered showers and maybe a few isolated thunderstorms in the mix. Similar conditions for Sunday. And then not a true tropical low, but a subtropical low developing possibly east of the state or west of the state. Right now the European favoring east of the state. Either way, it will still bring us some wraparound moisture and give us a chance for some showers on into Monday and Tuesday. You can see this is the sea breeze that kind of sensitized the radar here, showing that sea breeze penetrating now east of I-75 here in Manatee County. Still kind of hung up right there at 75 in Sarasota County, and it cools things down just a little bit. It's a little miniature cold front, if you will, when water temperatures are in the upper 70s as they are right now, 78 degrees. That dry air in place in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere continues in the trough of the jet stream, which is now shifting east. And once it gets to the east, we'll start to moisten up here a bit. That won't happen, though, until Friday. And then into Saturday and Sunday, we'll get east to southeasterly wind flow, which will start to bring some tropical moisture back into play. And we could use it. As I mentioned earlier, the index remains very high for Sarasota and Manatee counties and extreme for Charlotte County. 89 degrees right now, comfortable out there with that drier air in place at 39% on the relative humidity. North to northwest winds are at 14. And the barometer now 2996, and that is for the most part rising. High today was just 2 degrees shy of the record, 91 degrees, although 93 set back in 1929 was the record. And this morning's low was comfortable at 64, a couple degrees below average. Well, the National Satellite and Radar Review showing pretty nice day over the southeast. As high pressure dominating there at the surface anyway. Here's a surface low moving through the Dakotas and Minnesota, bringing some showers down into all the way down in the western portions of Kansas. Highs tomorrow, 86 in Kansas City. St. Louis heating up, 88 there, 79 the nation's capital, and Phoenix at 94. For boaters tomorrow, winds will be starting off out of the east. Then they'll switch around to the north by midday, then turn northwesterly late in the afternoon and pick up in speed too. We'll start off at 5 to 10 knots and a moderate chop on the bays and inland water. 7-day forecast. Dry on Wednesday, Thursday, just a slight chance for a late day shower on Friday. And then on Saturday, a 50% chance for showers and a few storms, a high of 87 degrees. And here's the futurecast for Saturday. Looking like most of the rain staying to our south throughout the morning, and then afternoon, maybe a few scattered showers coming into play, especially interior portions of our viewing area. And then we'll see a chance for showers again on into Sunday as that system kind of hangs around, a little bit more moisture into play. And then Mother's Day, 50% chance for scattered storms, and that's better. It was at 60 yesterday, so we've changed that a little bit as a result of that model showing a little bit more moisture down to our south. So we'll call for variable clouds throughout the day with a good chance for scattered showers and a few isolated thunderstorms, temperatures into the mid-80s. Back to you.
Thanks, Bob. We'll keep our fingers crossed for Mother's Day that it gets better. Time now to check your First Alert traffic for the drive home. In Bradenton, we're seeing some minor backups as you head north on US 301 near the intersection with State Road 70. Scott?
Thanks, Jacqueline. According to the FDA, there have been more than 25 food recalls since April. Many of those items were recalled for salmonella. So how can we protect ourselves, and should we pay attention to the sell-by date and the best buy dates? Well, one expert says those dates are not required by federal law. They're really for the consumer to get an idea on the best quality, the best flavor, and the best texture of their food.
It's not really to represent food safety. But once the package is opened, somewhere on that packaging it will say once open, used by 3 to 5 days. And that's an important rule to follow with pathogen multiplication.
She says the way you handle food and store it makes all the difference. She says your fridge should be set between 30 to 40 degrees to ensure the freshness and safety of your food.
Walmart is tightening its opioid prescription policies. The company is now limiting the lengths of opioid prescriptions and requiring that they be filled electronically. Within 60 days, Walmart will only fill first-time acute opioid prescriptions for 7 days or less nationwide. It will also limit the dosage to 50 morphine milligram equivalents per day. Starting in 2020, Walmart will also require e-prescriptions when it comes to controlled substances.
And it's the end of the line for the current version of the Jeep Wrangler. The last Wrangler in what the company calls the JK line has now been finished at its Ohio plant. This model's been around for more than a decade now. A new and improved version called the JL is now on the way.
Well, stay with us. Entertainment news is coming up next.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to a premium finish. Schedule your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or go to californiaclosets.com.
From the moment she walked in the door, we stopped having to go to the pharmacy. Certain prescriptions, my health plan or the pharmacy wasn't even able to get here. And hospice provided them, and all we had to do was call up, and the next thing they know, there was another, a delivery.
Dear parents, it's time for a pop quiz. What's the best kind of play for kids? Play that makes us think? Or helps us pretend? Or teaches us rules? Or to be creative? Actually, every kind of play is important because different kinds of play give us different kinds of skills. Help us mix up the ways we play. Okay, class dismissed. Now go play.
Each day, researchers make discoveries that bring us closer to the moment when all cancer patients can become survivors. Their progress is made possible with the help of clinical trials. Clinical trials are the brightest torch researchers have to light their way towards better treatments. And if you've been diagnosed with cancer, they may be your brightest ray of hope. Speak with your doctor and visit standuptocancer.org/clinical trials to learn more. Together, we can stand up for all of us.
Fortunately, this was my first job out of college, so I was able to come back home and work in my hometown. I wore 2 hats. I was sports director and I was a news anchor. I did that for a few years and then decided to go full-time into news. Well, I love our team here at ABC7. We have a great mix, and it really is a great mix of personalities, of experience that meshes really well into a really strong team. I'm Scott Dennis, and I'm here for you.
Selfless service is the guiding principle of every Army National Guard soldier. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. To be an Army National Guard soldier is to serve something greater than yourself. Learn more at nationalguard.com.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to a premium finish. Schedule your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or go to californiaclosets.com.
The Cannes Film Festival kicks off tonight, and in the era of the Time's Up movement, many have noticed that of the 21 films competing, only 3 are directed by women.
Yeah, the director of that festival says this year is an anomaly. He says 7% of directors in the film industry are women, but Cannes always attains a higher number, around 20 to 23%. He says they don't care about gender, they just care about quality. In the history of Cannes, only 1 woman has ever won the top prize. That was Jane Campion in 1993 for The Piano.
Paris Hilton making a statement by showing up to her hacker's sentencing in Los Angeles. Between 2015 and 2017, a 31-year-old woman stole hundreds of thousands of dollars from Hilton. She charged $40,000 to her credit cards and impersonated the reality star online by asking Hilton's assistant to wire her $80 grand. The hacker also obtained nude photos from Hilton's iCloud account. She pleaded guilty last year to bank fraud conspiracy and was sentenced Monday to 57 months in prison and ordered to pay restitution. Hilton says justice
I came here this morning
served.
because I think it's really important. I've been hacked several times and I'm sick and tired of just brushing it off and sitting back and letting people get away with this. So I thought it was very important for me to let the judge know just how much this affected me and what a serious crime this is.
The hacker's attorney says she has apologized to Hilton in court and is trying to overcome drug addiction. As for Hilton, she says that she does not trust Apple's iCloud feature and no longer uses it.
Two more big honors snatched away from Bill Cosby. The Kennedy Center says it's rescinding Cosby's 1998 Kennedy Center honor and its 2009 Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. Both distinctions are awarded to people in the performing arts who have had a big impact on American culture. The Kennedy Center says Cosby's sex assault conviction now overshadows his accomplishments.
And what do President Donald Trump and rapper 2 Chainz have in common? Well, they both proposed at the Met Gala. President Trump proposed to Melania at the gala in 2004, and last night 2 Chainz proposed to his longtime girlfriend on the famous Met stairs. She gladly accepted, and it was an exciting moment for all those who witnessed it, I am sure. Gotta love the outfits at the gala as well.
They do it up, don't they? More news right after this.